Welcome, travelers. Seems like you're looking for a story. Well, I got one for you. It involves adventure, friendship, and all sorts of...
Earl, why don't you tell him about that time I stole that big-ass melon?
Yeah, I was going for more...
Or you could tell him about the time I kicked her ass, Earl.
I wouldn't ever tell him.
Do I need to get my ref gear on?
Okay, everyone, shut up. Now come with me as I tell you a story from afar. Hey everybody, my name's David. I'm the DM for From Afar Podcast. A From Afar Podcast is all about four friends separated by distance but brought together by adventure. Hope you all stop by and give us a listen. Thanks.
Welcome, everybody, back to Stranger Damies. This is episode 110. I'm glad you guys have stuck around this long. The Stallynz here have just landed on the northern islands known as Islecross, and have, after successfully suggesting to a Yeti, a giant, and a monstrosity that they have not learned about yet, to just walk 10 miles away. They went into the town of Allowak Sanctuary and met a town of all Yetis that are much more intelligent, less feral than the creatures on the outside of the sanctuary. And they believe that it is all due to a crystal that is embedded into their patron's chest, which is a 9-foot abdominal Yeti known as Allowak. So you meet Moonlighting, who explains basically most of the history of the area and sort of things they've learned, and hands you over a crudely drawn map of what they've been able to map out of Islecross here. And you've learned a couple points of interest, that there's an island to the northwest kind of on there, that is too cold for even Yetis to want to travel on, and that it is housed by great flying creatures, and that there is a town to the north area that sort of goes through all the seasons, despite being so far north in Exandria. And she has also said that if any more specific questions, you might want to talk to Brightheart, who is the leader of the sanctuary. Then you guys went off. You bought some potions. Tiresias bought clothing for his cold-blooded nature. He needs to be warmed up a little bit more. And those are being made currently. And Bort has bought a couple pieces of clothing. I believe a helmet and a like a little shoulder length like shawl sort of thing is the only thing I can think of to call it, but maybe a mini cape, on his back there that is made of mammoth fur. So as you guys got back as a group, Moonlighting walked you into Brightheart's hut, and you saw that she was sitting on a giant throne made of mammoth bones and tusk, and she welcomed you guys and asked you how can she help you, and that is where we'll start. You also notice that she is in a little more gear than the rest of them, a little more patchwork leather armor, much more regal looking than the other Yetis you have seen around. So, how can she help you?
Hey, ma'am. I'm Cop Out. Thank you so
Cop
much.
Out. Nice to meet you.
Oh, pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for allowing us into your humble abode here. We're looking for entrance to the river Styx. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, the river Styx. I read a journal about that. It is the I believe it is the river that allows you to travel through the 9 hells. May I ask what you need access to the hells for?
Does anyone else want to jump in? Because I'm not 100% sure. I know we
I'll
just gotta
say-
go there.
A devil ran off with my girlfriend, and we are trying to get her back.
Fucking devils, man.
The worst.
The worst. Yeah, we've had a couple come down through that infernal river. We don't know where it goes to, but not infernal. Magma river. There's a word I was looking for. And they come in, they wreck shit with the wild folk, and then they scurry here and try and kill us, and it's a whole thing. So anything I can do to help you get one over on a devil, I will surely do. And you're saying it is an item that will help with the River Styx, right?
Well, we're looking how to get there, and if there's anything that we need in preparation for it.
And she's like, well, if it's the same item, I was recently contracted by the mage that lives off on the island far to the east, named Minarch Ferdal. He contracted us to go out and search for a key that comes with a metal thing with a stick, sort of like you can hold it up. And so I sent out 2 or 3 search parties, and yeah, I'm basically done with that contract because none of my search parties came back. The last contact I had with one was that he had found information that basically it was in a place north of here, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so I do have some new correspondence from them that I have not read over from, but I do have a matter that I would like your help with while I go through the new information. Would you like to help us?
And you've been so kind to us. I feel like, we owe it to you.
If it gets us closer to the River Styx, of course.
Okay.
Or we could just do it to be nice people. I mean,
I'm assuming there's some sort of time situation that we're dealing with. The fact that they, I know, Bort, you're new to this group, but they do have my girlfriend, so, anything that gets us closer.
That's true.
Yeah. So she goes, well...
Appreciate the care, Bort, but...
And Brightheart goes, so glad to hear that. Many people don't like, they see Yeti and they go, and they don't really want to help. So I'm glad to hear that.
We know a thing or two about prejudices. We've partnered with the Red Dragon in the past, and he was nothing but nice to us. So
that's good to hear. I've read things about those color dragons, and to hear that there are nice ones means that, there's hope for us that we won't turn back into those feral creatures. And she goes,
possible.
Well, I sent out my most trusted gatherer. Her name is Dawnmind. And she went out to try and recruit some of the Yetis out in the wild and bring them back. But I've not seen her in about a day and a half or more, and I'm starting to get worried. She's usually really good at rounding up new members for our sanctuary. So if you guys can head out and find her and bring her back, I'll give you anything I have on locations and the River Styx.
So it's like a little tit for tat kind of thing.
Yes, I can. I would be most gracious because I can't lose another search party at this point.
One might say quid pro quo.
I've never had squid.
This This offer is perfect.
Yeah, sure. If you want to tell us, point us in a direction.
Yeah, so he went. Went west this time. So out that way, there was rumor of about half a dozen Yetis. Were sort of hunting party out that way, and her and her three comrades. Companions. That was the word I'm looking for. Headed out to try and recruit them back into, our sanctuary here. So I'm sure you should be able to find her. If it's a Yeti that's not attacking you at first sight, that is probably Dawn Mind.
Got it. So anything that attacks us, not Dawn Mind.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. Maybe we should have like a code word for her.
How would she know what the code word is?
It will be Dawn Mind.
Do you happen to know her mother's name?
No, I'm not entirely sure. When we all basically became enlightened here, we came from all over the island, and once we get here, we get a new name, and then this becomes our family. So. Gotcha.
Would the name Martha mean anything to her?
I don't know. Maybe you should try it.
Try it.
So is that's the code, Martha?
I'd like save Martha, I think would work the best.
Okay. I like that. It makes no sense to me, but I like it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
All right. And she goes, well, yeah, just head out that way, and we'd be very appreciative if you could bring her back alive.
Which way?
West.
I hold up the map, the map that Moonlighting gave us.
Okay. He goes, I see Moonlighting is just giving these out again, huh?
Yep. I mean, that's where we got it.
Yeah. So, west, there, you, sort of, in this little, near this mountainous region here to the west.
Oh, okay. So still on the island?
Yeah, still on the island.
Okay. Can I ask you a question about Mutalos?
Go right ahead.
Is there? I was hearing that they experience like hot and cold seasons.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. When we sent, our first party out, once we first, when I was reading through the old books before I became leader here, the first parties went out there, and it was just like anywhere else, just cold and all that. And then we sent a second party out to sort of explore again. Just taking turns. We're sort of kind of mapping the area. And when they went there, it was like this really hot weather, and it was like the terrain had changed. And then when they came back, we were like, kind of thought they were maybe crazy or pulling our legs a bit, talking about a tropical feel to a place. And then we sent another crew out, and then they came back and said that it was inhabitable swampland up there.
Any chance that any of these parties were, had magic used against them to?
We thought the same thing, but no, they were clear of mind.
Okay, interesting. Wild. In all our travels, I've never heard of any other place quite like that.
Yeah, we're after the third group, we decided to stay away because we didn't want anybody to get trapped up there. We didn't know if it was, something like that, or if it's just something natural, but we don't want anything to do with that until, we would be good and ready to take on anything inside.
Okay. I hear there's an inn in town here at Allowak Sanctuary. Is there any reason why we wouldn't be able to, rest up for a certain amount of time before we go on the search party?
Yeah, I'm sure you can rest up. We don't normally have visitors that stay overnight, so probably just grab a couple beds inside, Moonlighting's hut. You should be fine. I think a couple of you could fit in a bed, that we normally lay in.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
yeah,
Who's
so
bunking with me?
So you
Come on.
I
guys,
think you
and-
can kill somebody if you roll over.
and as you guys are walking out of the hut, as you exit it, you see Moonlighting jumps back and goes, oh, hi, guys, how'd the meeting go?
Went well. We got kind of a task at hand.
Oh, don't mind. Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, little sneak.
Do you know anything about her that we should maybe keep a lookout for? Or...
She's a tough warrior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any
If-
sort
if
of
any-
physical traits we should be able to look out for before? You know, she told us if she's not going to attack us, then that's her. But that's like, you know, that kind of sounds stupid to us to just kind of like wait to see if some Yeti attacks us. Because obviously, I point to all of us in our party is like, a Yeti is bigger than all of us. So that's really putting us on the defensive. So is there anything of any note you could tell us about her?
The only thing she would have on that I don't know if the other Yetis do is she'd probably have some kind of mammoth, cloak on or something, But we don't really much do clothes outside of that. The cold doesn't really affect us.
The cold never bothered you anyway.
Yep, exactly.
Beat to it.
I was just wondering if maybe she might have like some like a necklace or some beads, something just to differentiate.
No, we kind of know who each other are.
Well, that's good for you guys. That's remarkable.
Yeah, we don't really get many outsiders here to have to explain those things.
It was more Boston than anything.
Yep, that's what
I was going to say, I don't know what that accent is anymore.
Yeah, it was more
Yeah.
Boston.
Okay, your accent's funny, sir.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
Speaking.
All right.
Trust me, if anybody did survive out of the group that left, it would definitely be Dawn Mind.
We'll
all right.
make sure to bring her back.
Okay. All right, so you guys heading to the inn, correct?
Yep.
Are you taking a short rest, long rest? What are you guys doing?
I just need a short rest. I don't know
Sound like
about
we
you.
can take a long rest if anybody needs it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now it's probably
depending on. I was gonna say depending on how quick this needs to be taken care of.
Well, it sounds like we kind of have all kinds of time.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm fine with a
Nice.
short rest.
Okay. Just know I can't suggest anybody. If I want to take a short rest.
I vote short rest, but if anyone else wants to take
Okay.
long,
Just making sure that our people that took some damage are okay.
Yeah, you can roll your hit dice and with a short rest. If you
And I
want.
don't need to do that.
Yeah, anybody that took damage. You get as many dice as your level, so 12. Yeah. So, yeah, the only pressing thing is that they would like her back alive. So. Alright, so you guys, you take a little respite inside Moonlighting's abode. She makes you up some tea, sets it in front of you, puts some, what would be the equivalent of jerky, but it's like you could probably eat a half of one with the size of it, of just, mammoth meat. And you guys all healed up. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys head out of town. Walk for a few hours, just heading towards the mountains to the due west. Brightheart, before you guys leave, pointed out. It's like it's right around that peak over there is where we sent her. So you guys head off to that direction. After about a few hours travel, everybody roll perception.
30. Natural 20.
I also rolled a natural 20.
9. I cannot roll a perception check to save my life today.
27 for
10.
Zakara.
10 for Tiresias.
Okay, and Bort?
And
7.
12 for Grassrot.
Big ol' 7.
Yeah, so Pizza Tacos and Zakar immediately see out in the distance 3 Yeti corpses on the ground, all clawed up, and like one of them, the neck is completely ripped out. And then next to them, you see a Yeti on their knees around with a tattered net like over them. And you notice that there's also parts of a net on the ground as well. And she looks really bloodied and clawed, and has a half ripped off cloak of mammoth fur on her back.
That was quick.
I guess I want to try to sneak over to the net to cut it, because I'm assuming that this is a friendly mammoth or a friendly Yeti, because they're wearing clothes and kidnapped.
Yeah, roll
So
roll your stealth check.
Yeah. 15 total. God.
Luckily, that's
Oh, no.
probably enough.
It's higher than that. It's a 23 because of the rogue proficiency thing.
Yeah. So 15 would have been fine. You walk over and you notice the net is mostly cut off, but she's still sort of, huddled in there and looks really, really bad. And sort of just shaking in like pain, and there's blood and claw marks all over her.
I whisper, "Can you speak?" as I start cutting the net.
And she turns, and then she sort of just looks over and goes, "If you're going to finish it, just do it."
No, I'm freeing you.
Oh, thank you. We came out here, and all of a sudden this net happened, and a bunch of humanoids like you came around, and then the Yetis came, and it's a mess.
Sounds rough.
Yeah, and she goes, thank you so much, and cuts down. She goes, I'm Dawnmind. What is your name?
My name is Sixth Sense.
Nice. She looks at you kind of curious and goes, nice to meet you, Sixth Sense. So I was, out here, trying to recruit some more Yetis. And she looks quickly. She goes, have you been to the sanctuary yet?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I don't need to go through that explanation. And she goes, and, we got caught up in these nets here. We came out to get these 6 Yetis. But now I just want to try and get, back to the sanctuary. Would you be able to escort me?
Sure.
I'm going to do an insight check on her.
All right, go ahead.
16.
16. Yeah, she's telling the truth. She's very, very hurt, but, she's being truthful.
Okay.
Yeah, she's definitely a lower DC than the Sphinxes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that she is who she says she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on her at a 2nd level.
Okay, go ahead. And then, roll an intelligence 2 when you're done.
Okay. She only got 9 HP.
Okay. Yeah, and then roll an intelligence check for me too.
17.
17. So as you touch her and start putting the Cure Wounds spell into her, you noticed immediately that she was probably the equivalent of 1 hit point left when you guys got here. You pretty much saved her life by getting out here so quickly. So you heal her up. She's still, very wary. Probably is just going to follow you guys. Doesn't look like she doesn't have a weapon or anything, and doesn't look like she would be much use in a fight. But you know, maybe her presence would scare off anybody nearby. You would hope. She goes, all right, yeah, let's head back. And so you guys turn around, and I'm gonna need everybody to roll stealth checks.
Ooh, I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Okay.
That's not too late. You guys all have a +10 to your stealth checks.
Okay. +10.
Thank God I did that. Yeah.
So that gives us a +10, right?
Yeah.
37.
So I'm at 18.
Astaroth's at 14, and then Zakar's at 13.
40.
32.
Jesus.
So Bort, Fred, and Pizza Tacos are basically ghosts. Sort of carries the rest of you a little bit. As you start walking along, it's not a complete, outside of them, a complete, like, you're not making no noise. So as you are walking, you do start hear some growling coming from the edges of the forest, but they are not coming in your direction. They just hear noise. They just don't know where it's coming from. As you're walking through, the click-clank of armor is sort of echoing in the forest, but they aren't intelligent enough to locate it. And with those stealth rolls. So you guys walk a little bit further. You get about 2 hours, about halfway back, and then just roll stealth checks again. How long does Pass Without a Trace last?
1 hour.
All right, so you have to cast it again if you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cast it again. So Astaroth rolled a 14 and Dakar rolled a 28.
Okay.
42.
26.
12 and 18 again. How is Bort so sneaky?
I don't
You're not
know.
wearing...
I don't
I
have
don't
heavy
understand.
armor on.
You don't have
Still.
any armor.
I don't have any. My shell is my armor. I have a +4 to my stealth rolls. Plus the
Okay.
10. I rolled a 12.
I have a 0, obviously.
Yeah, so you guys, again, still hearing some roaring out there, but you haven't caught anybody's attention, and you safely make it the final 2 hours back
Nice.
to the town. And you walk in, and the half the town that sees you come in sort of all comes and surrounds you and celebrating. You can tell that Dawn Mind is a very popular figure around here.
Are they chanting "cop out"? Cop out, cop out, cop out.
No, they're just more focused on her. They're
Oh, okay.
and they are thanking you, and as you guys walk along, basically it's a sort of a hero's welcome for you guys as you make it back into town. And as you make it closer to Brightheart's tent, you see that as she comes out, they scatter a little bit. And she goes, Dawn Mind, did you happen to bring anyone back with you? And she goes, no, everyone died, but they were able to save me. And she's like, well, thank you guys. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me, to have her back here. So if you want to join me in the tent, I will fill in any information that you may need about where to go and all that. And make sure you bring that moonlighting map with you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys head inside, and she's like, all right, so what I got from the final communication from the last search party, which someone discovered on the other side of the river here, is that the the artifact is in a crash site, sort of, about a day and a half travel north of here, which is that thing marked on your map as crash site. They wouldn't have the name of the crash site on the map. So just let's play it that it doesn't say what it is. It just says crash site on the map.
What do you mean by crash site?
It just looks like a bunch of, rocks were thrown around. There's craters. It looks like something crashed into that land there.
Okay.
So now there's the magma river is there. How do we get over?
The magma river?
Oh, right, you're not fireproof.
Over.
How do we get over there?
Yeah.
I never said that.
So Fred's like, what? You guys haven't had to go through magma rivers before?
All the time.
No, I mostly deal with like water.
How wide is it?
We've built bridges over there, so you guys should be fine.
How well did you build those bridges?
Well, they can fit Yetis across, so I think you guys should be fine.
Okay.
Well, I guess that wraps everything in a nice little package.
She sort of elbows Bort and goes, "Unless if you eat a little too much, right, Turtle?"
I don't get it. I'm very svelte for my kind, all right?
Wow.
I have a weight problem. I don't like being called fat.
And then she goes, anybody, is anybody proficient in history or religion?
I think I'm proficient in history.
I am proficient in religion.
All right, so two of you roll.
I have half proficiency in both.
Yeah, Pizza Tacos can basically roll for everything at this point.
17 for religion.
8 for history.
Once again, it's an 8.
It never fails.
So what you get, Pizza Tacos?
An 8.
8. All right, so as you hear the word crash site, Tiresias, with the 17, you know of in the history books that you read, because it's Syria where Vasselheim is located, where you trained with the Platinum Sanctuary, that there was an ancient civilization known as Aor. And the rumor with Aor is that it wasn't as... it was rumored that they were very technologically advanced. But not much is known. It's like basically they've been wiped off the history books. It's just a brief mention from a history of the time before the Calamity book that you had read back in your class, like, learning days.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and she goes, "Well, you guys just head up there. Like I said, it's a giant circular metal piece, and it should have a rod attached to it there. So I guess it would be pretty easy to find. The only other thing in this letter, and this is very generic, but maybe it makes more sense when you guys get there, it just says that it's inside a giant white building."
Okay.
Interesting.
It doesn't give any more detail than that.
Okay.
So, so you guys goes, feel free if you guys want to stay the night here before you head on out. You can get plenty of food, and then I'm sure Moonlighting will let you crash at their hut if need be.
That sounds like
good.
a plan to me.
Okay. All right. So you guys gather in Moonlighting's house. Would you like to discuss anything with each other before going to bed?
Does anyone want to talk? I'm all ears.
I'm cold.
Me too.
By the way, Tiresias, you got your stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not so bad.
You're not cold. It's really well done. It fits you perfectly.
Amazing how that works.
Hey Hey, pizza tacos.
What's up?
Do you have any way to maybe communicate with your lady love? Maybe see if she's all right.
Let me see. I can. It's a good
I can
good
try
point
to.
there, turtle guy.
Like right before we go to bed. That way you don't waste the spell slot.
What's a spell slot?
Hey.
Yeah, that's true. What are you talking about?
Hey.
I hit the
Are you
jukebox.
hungry? Are you okay?
I am kind of hungry, actually, in real life and in game.
Moonlighting,
Alright.
do you have any lettuce or anything?
Carrots.
Carrots? I'm
I'm
sorry.
in the
Today
mood
we
for
want
carrots.
carrots.
Yeah, sure. And she brings out these like brownish carrots, probably better known as cave carrots, sort of, that they found around there.
My
It's not the orange one.
favorite. I start to munch.
I use a sending spell to send a message to. What's her Ariel?
Yeah.
Tribeca.
So,
So
what do
many
you say?
names.
I said, "Hey, we're in some crazy islands where it's cold. How are you? We're coming to get you."
Okay, I want to check something real fast. Before I go into the next part of this.
Maybe the lines are tied. A lot of communications going back and forth.
Not good reception up here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So, pizza tacos. Roll a d20. If you, just roll a d20. I'll let you know.
Okay. Straight D20. 11.
Okay. So it goes through, but it's kind of crackling a little bit, and she goes. You hear some, she's sort of heavy breathing, and goes, "Oh, you guys are alive. All right. Yeah, I don't know how to tell you to get here, but I'm good. Love you."
Okay. That's cute.
I'm just gonna send one more to her.
Okay. Roll a
It'll
20
just be
again.
like, "Where is here?" You want me to roll another d20?
Yep.
14.
Okay. So it goes through, and she goes, "Well, I think I'm in Cana. I'm not sure. I'm being held somewhere. Probably, my estimate would be I'm either on the 7th or 8th circle. I can't really tell out these windows."
7th or 8th circle. Okay.
Windows in hell?
Yeah. Well. Yes, they have windows in hell. Yeah. So if you notice, the one part of that spell there is the reason I had you roll in the 20s. The you can send across distances, other planes, but if the target is on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance the message doesn't arrive.
Okay.
So essentially, if you roll a 1,
Gotcha.
So going forward, that's the order of business as long as you're on the material plane.
Okay. So 7th or 8th level, she said?
Yep. She can't really tell from the window.
To the wall.
To the wall. Did she respond?
Yeah.
So she's good.
She might be on the 7th or 8th level of hell, she said.
Thanks.
Okay, well, we're coming. Tell her we're coming.
I already told her.
Oh, I didn't know if she could still hear. We're coming.
That's not how it works.
Oh, okay. But you know that we're coming. We're good.
Yeah. I looked to Fred, like 7th or 8th level. What does that mean to you?
Is Fred there?
What? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
7th or 8th level of hell. What does that mean to you?
So 7th level of hell is where Beelzebub is. 8th level of hell is where Mephistopheles is.
All right. Well, she's in the 8th level. That's her dad, right?
Yeah.
From what I remember. That could be a good thing.
Right.
Well,
yeah. If you're
I mean, she's still alive, so that's good thing number 1.
So Hudijin is second in command of the 8th level of hell, and so if she's there, then she could be imprisoned, which is bad. And he is in league with Beelzebub, who rules the 7th level of hell. So if she's there, then that's also bad.
Okay. So what's worse, would you say?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Pick your
Like,
poison.
yeah, it's kind of 6 in one, half a dozen in the other.
So now, so her dad is the ruler of 1 level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he got word that she's being held captive in another level, don't you think he could like marshal the forces or something like that and go get him? Or go get her.
But it'd be even crazier if she was held prisoner on his own level.
So Tribeca is Mephistopheles made a contract with Beelzebub that Tribeca / Ariel would marry Beelzebub. That means that if that contract is broken, then Beelzebub's thing is that he gets the soul of anybody who breaks a contract with him. Mm-hmm. So Hudijin is in league with Beelzebub, and they want that contract to be broken. That means that they don't want Ariel to marry Beelzebub.
Because they want Mephistopheles' soul.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds terrible, as you mentioned.
That would put a damper in your plans to probably get with her, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten with her, but for her to not die.
Well, yeah, like in the marital sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure you want to marry this little lady.
We're not there yet, but like this sounds like more than anything this is going to cause layers of hell incident that we don't really want to have happen, because it seems like it would still affect us regardless. Outer hell, sorry, Fred.
Outer heaven.
Outer heaven.
Outer heaven.
Outer heaven.
Yeah. So I think, right, so thinking this through, Beelzebub doesn't want his marriage with Ariel to go through, which means that she's probably being held on the 8th level, because then Beelzebub can be like, oh no, she's imprisoned. I can't find her.
Sure. So he's going to try and turn the old switcheroo on Mephistopheles. Be like, hey, I didn't know anything about this, because it's not his level of hell.
This is like some Game of Thrones shit that we're talking about here.
What's that?
It's a book that hasn't been finished being written yet.
I didn't know
that might be the best answer.
A buddy of mine is writing it right now.
You don't think I can't read? I mean, come on.
Just never saw you do it before.
Well, we haven't been in each other's company for very long.
That's true.
All right, so guys, go to bed. Get a, restful night's sleep. So take a long rest, everyone.
Yeah.
So you awake, and as you guys get ready, you eat some more. Basically, the only meal here is vegetables or mammoth. So you sort of chow down on what's there, and as you're heading out to get ready to leave, Brightheart stops you and goes, "Before you go," and she's like, "I got one more favor to ask on your way back afterwards. If you would mind coming back. There are 2 legendary mammoth between here and where you're going. If you can bring me back their pelts, I will be forever in your debt, but we also have," and she says, "I can give you these goggles that we had found in our travels around the island."
What do these goggles do?
Do you want to check them out?
I guess I'm using an identify spell.
Yeah, if you want to
first
understand
level.
what they are.
How many goggles are there?
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I use an identify spell.
Okay. All right, so let me pull it out here.
See goggles, people.
I believe that is it. Yeah, so these are they're leather framed goggles with purple crystals. When you're wearing the goggles, you have advantage on Arcana checks, made to reveal information about a creature or an object you see. In addition, if you want to, which doesn't seem like you guys really need this part, but it's there if someone else besides Pizza Tacos wants it, you can cast the Identify spell using the goggles. And you can do that once per day.
Okay. Well, hey, if we come across it, we'll definitely think about it.
Okay. No problem. Yeah. I'm just glad that you guys brought Dawn Mine back.
How do we know that they're legendary? Is that what you said? And how do we know? Are they just bigger than the other ones?
Yes. Yes, they are much larger. You will know them when you see them.
Okay.
They're, yeah. You know, it's like just imagine that they how we're so big. You know, compared to you. That's how they are compared to the other mammoths.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any way we could take these for a test drive while we're out?
No, I will leave them here.
Simple no. What about collateral? If I gave you collateral?
No, we'll. They're good here.
Just a simple no. Huh? Not humoring me at all. Okay, fine. That's fine. Whatever.
You only fleece them for a ton of money.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see the mammoths. Maybe we'll, kill innocent animals just for their pelts.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't a big fan of that.
Me neither.
So it's like on the maybe pile.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, you guys head on out. Again, it's like blustery, like a mini blizzard of snow going around on this tundra area here, basically windswept, and Tiresias is very warm in his new outfit, and the rest of you, Brightheart had handed you some extra clothes, just in case if you guys did decide to go to the far north. You are sort of her ally now, so wanted to make sure you guys could make it back.
Yay!
So you head along. For the first, are you guys traveling regular speed, or are you going faster?
We go regular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys travel along. Like I said, it's about probably about a 2-day walk, roughly, to get there. For you guys, for Yetis, it would probably be a day and a half. So you go along, you get done the first day, about 8 hours or 8 to 12 hours in. You end up right outside the as the sun goes down and night falls. You are basically on the other side of the river there.
So we cross the bridge.
No. You're on the sanctuary side. You have not crossed the bridge. But you can sort of see it off in the distance. It'll probably be a few more hours ride. If you want to push it, you risk, making yourselves more tired.
Yeah, we're just walking, right? We're not. We don't have. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys
camp out here and then pick it up in the morning.
Sure. Is there any good place to, like, an alcove to duck under?
Yeah. You're there's some rocks and stuff around here. Not so much anything that makes an alcove, but you can sort of get in between a couple of them and maybe be able to watch from both sides, not just be completely out in the open. So you guys set up a camp there. Whoever wants to set up the thing just for the hell of it. Give me a survival check, just one of you.
I will. I got a +4. Oh, lucky.
There you go.
22.
That's better. Yeah. So you set it up perfectly that nothing is coming close to you without you guys being able to see it. So you get a nice low fire going, so it's not too much exposed. And then, so I'll have 3 of you roll perception checks. We'll just quickly do the night thing.
I'll roll one.
I'm withdrawing into my shell.
24.
Okay.
I'm gonna do lucky just because we're about to take a long rest. 28.
Who's the third one?
I'm guessing Jonathan's better than mine. I have a 0 on my perception.
I can do it. I've also been forgetting that I have the minimum of a 10 thing for this as well. So yeah, so it's a 15.
10. Yeah. So so you guys, those of you that didn't roll above a 20, it's just Jonathan, right? No.
Yep.
What did you get, Zakara?
24.
Okay, yeah. So Jonathan, you during your watch, you don't notice anything really occurring there. You just make sure the fire stays low. You've had to do this plenty of times before. Just keep an eye out, make sure that you guys aren't seeing much, but you don't notice anything and your time goes past. So our 2 elf people here who just trance for the most part instead of sleep. With your over 20 rolls, you notice that on the other side of the river, you're hearing these giant, I'm not even going to try and make the noise, but sort of like elephant noises, louder than you've ever heard, and big mashing footsteps, but like far in the distance over on the other side of the river.
Okay.
So you know from your rolls, especially the 28 from Pizza Tacos, that they are in this area if you wanted to search for them either now or on your way back.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys get up next morning, put out the fire, make sure, Jonathan goes around and make sure Fred goes around and make sure there's no signs of a camp here, just in case if you were followed, kind of the assassin's way of not being tracked. And you guys walk off and you get to the bridge, and when you get to the bridge area, the first thing you notice is that even in this cold area, this area is extremely hot. It's a weird dichotomy between the coldness of the tundra and the hotness surrounding the general area of this river here. And as you're going across the bridge, you can look down, and it's just a river of lava. But it doesn't look like from a volcano where it would, start turning into rocks and stuff as it cools. It just is constantly hot. There's no cooling process occurring here. Roll an intelligence check for me, Fred.
Okay.
You'd be the only one that would know this.
Interesting. So that was a saving throw, which I have proficiency with. So take out so it's actually just a 21.
Yeah.
Only a 21.
Only a 21. So over 20 is good. It was a lower DC for you than most. But so immediately looking at this river, you notice that it's very similar to the types of rivers that run through, in Dis in the city of Brass. Like, you don't have regular rivers, you have rivers similar to this that don't seem to cool. So you feel by the looks of the river that maybe if you guys searched all the way to the source, there may be a connection to that second level of hell, but you would have to follow the river to do so. Like, you don't know what you'll run into going up that way, but in your head, you're sort of like, this this kind of looks like home.
Okay,
You know.
I convey that information.
Yeah.
What do folks think? Do we want to try it?
I mean, I know we have to find this guy. He supposedly has that key that can get us into hell unnoticed. So maybe we should try to find him first.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's number one.
But I feel like the river's a really good place to follow once we get it.
Sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm there.
Yeah.
So as you guys follow along, right at the end of your travels, so probably like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, somewhere in there, you get to this, in this mountainous area, there is this giant sunken crater that you see. There's pieces of debris spread all over the place. There's some buildings around here, some broken apart. And as you enter through what would be the normal entrance to the town, you see that there are these blue, like, bubble, like, encapsulating bubbles sort of just pocketed throughout the area here. So do you guys, they're like, you can see through them, the bubbles. They look like they have something inside of them.
How big are they?
They're about, I would say, a good 300-400 feet, like around.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So it's like a dome, pretty much.
Yeah, like a dome. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on us just in case.
Okay. All right. So as you guys head in, does anybody want to go investigate the first bubble that you see over there?
I guess we probably want somebody with magic knowledge, because this feels like it's probably a magic thing.
Well,
Yeah. If someone can go with me in case
I was gonna say,
I'm not super stealthy. Well, we all probably have to stick within, 30 feet of me? 60
Yeah.
feet?
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
30 feet. Yeah.
So are we all going to check?
Sure.
But
That
I can
seems fine.
investigate.
I'm
I
just
can
thinking-
investigate it.
All right,
And then-
yeah.
Yeah, as you guys approach it, so roll an investigation, and if Arcana's better, you can roll that, but if whichever one's better.
They're both the same for me. 24.
24. So we'll take that as Arcana, just so you get the little extra information.
Okay.
Since they're the same. So you walk up to the blue bubble, and the first thing you notice is that immediately the magic radiating off of it, you know that this is some kind of stasis bubble, but you've never seen this type of magic before. It feels like something you would you would probably know from, your natural inclination to magic, like an aura of like invulnerability sort of thing. But this is different. And you notice that as soon as you get up and look inside, you see that inside the dome, nothing is moving. Everything that's inside is just in place. And you see that there is a half of a house that is made of and you see where the bubble cuts off, that there's all rubble and stuff that is made of the same red stone-like material. It's a sort of thing you've never seen before. And there is a family inside. They are sitting around a table with a white cloth over it. And they're holding hands with their heads bowed. The older man is wearing like a strange coat sort of thing. It's like, it's shorter than a cloak normally would be. Has like some buttons in the front. And he has a shirt, which is like, is usually like an undershirt type of thing that you see that you would normally wear under your armor. And a piece of cloth sort of coming from his neck and hanging down. And then he is wearing these like black pants on there as well. And there is a older female next to him wearing a dress that is definitely made of too thin of a material than for the area that you're in. especially for Isocross. It has some flower print on it, some straps over her shoulders, and her arms are exposed. And with them are 2 younger humans. There's a female wearing just that undershirt thing again, but this time with no buttons on it. And she has no armor over it, but there's something printed on that undershirt. And she's got these strange blue pants on. And the male sitting next to her is wearing the same pants, but he has this weird, like, thick-looking cloak thing on that is red, and the sleeves are white. And there's a giant white A on the left side of the jacket, and they are all sitting there. And in what you would assume, being a druid, is it looks like they're in some kind of prayer circle.
Okay.
And when you go to touch the bubble, it is solid. You can't go in.
So I'll convey that to everyone, because that was a lot of information. I'll let them know that the bubble, it seems like there's some kind of stasis magic, but I've never seen it before. And there's a human family inside, and it looks like they're dressed for warm weather. So, and they're not moving. I don't know. I don't know what is going on here. They're in some kind of prayer circle inside. It's very strange. I've never seen this before.
Maybe they're the ones keeping the bubble going.
Possibly. Yeah. If this were to break, they would probably freeze to death pretty quickly.
Oh, so it's more of a like they're protecting themselves from the cold, or
I don't know. It could be.
I'm gonna knock on the bubble. I want to see if I can get their attention.
It just knocks. Nothing moves.
Do they hear?
They're not moving.
No, nothing moves. It's just
okay.
a solid.
It's like they're frozen in time.
Okay, gotcha. That makes more sense now.
You think we can move the bubbles?
It's pretty big. I mean, I'm strong, and I don't think I can move this. I'll try to push it.
Try.
Careful.
I'm gonna go into a rage and try to push it.
No.
You push it, nothing happens. You hit it, push it, nothing. Yeah, as Zakara said, this is unlike any magic she's ever seen before.
I guess let's look at the others.
Yeah.
So you head on down. Roll again, Zakara.
Ooh, the same thing. 24.
So this one's a slightly smaller bubble, but it's still, pretty large. It shows 2 humans dressed in blue shirts and pants on, and a blue cap. They have a bunch of patches on their shirts, and the one on the left has a whistle in its mouth and seems to be directing people to get down. But they are frozen in place, as you noticed in the other family. Still, same thing, solid, unmoving bubble.
This one, it kind of looks like they're in some kind of crisis. But again, they're not moving. It's like they're frozen in time, too.
I'm going to use a sending spell to send to the one that looks like a traffic cop, from what I understand from your description.
Go ahead.
So, and I'm just going to say, hey, are you okay? What's going on out here?
Yeah, so, and you get no response.
Okay.
From them. Yeah, and then you move on. Third bubble, roll again. Zakara?
16.
16? Yeah, DCs were 15 on all these, so good job. So you get to the third bubble, and this one shows it's like a half of a building again. It looks like the cloaks, they just were, or the domes were just sort of meant to, protect the people, not so much worried about the buildings. So it's like half of a building is like cut off, but there's these 3 humans in white cloaks. They're looking like overcoats sort of thing. And they appear to be casting a spell, or the hand movements you would think like finished casting a spell. And behind them, you see a blueprint that shows something that looks very similar to that crystal that's inside Allowak.
Oh boy. Well, there's more people in here praying. It looks like they're focusing on the crystal we saw back in the village.
Oh, the one in the giant body?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder.
The two are definitely related now.
Yeah. Do you think the Yetis are like trapping the people here?
I wouldn't think they would be.
Well, they seem very nice, but I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know that they know that this exists.
None of them are dressed for this weather, right? So it seems like they were probably transported here while they were in stasis.
Right.
Yes.
Also, we should refer to these as snow globes.
Snow globes. There you go. So, Tiresias, roll a religion check for me again.
20.
Perfect. So you're starting to remember some of the little details about Aor that you read about. Aor, with being a technological, advanced society. Wait, I gotta find it here. It's for you. You remember something that you just disregarded because it couldn't be true. That the city used to be a floating city that just traveled all through Exandria, just sort of moving around, and it disappeared around the time of the calamity. And the legend that you read speaks that they had developed technology so good and so advanced that both the betrayer gods and the prime deities both wanted to get rid of the town. So there's no record of how they took it down or what took it down, but you do know the last writing of anything you read said that Aor was able to create weapons that protected and helped it fight deities.
Okay.
But anything else about it, it seems like, that's all that you remember from reading in your books.
Okay.
So essentially, your thoughts would be that they would probably have been here a while.
It seems these folks would have probably been here. I don't think that they're being held captive.
Yeah, it's been 800 years since the calamity.
So they've been here this whole time, just stuck?
Wow, that's horrible.
Do you think we have to break that crystal to free them?
I don't know. I mean, in this last bubble, they have like a blueprint to a crystal. So maybe they built the crystal and maybe it was taken away and that's why they're frozen. I don't know.
Well, the Yetis were talking about how they would be hunted. Like maybe they used the crystal against them. I don't know.
I think they're currently being hunted though by different people.
Or I thought maybe these were some of the people hunting.
No, I mean, from Tiresias' story, it sounds like they've been here for like, what did you say, Tiresias? 800 years?
Yep. Probably about close to that.
That's a long time to stay still.
Yeah. I wonder how long the Yeti's leader has been dead.
Know.
The one with the crystal in him.
Allowak?
Allowak.
I don't know.
Allowak.
So as you guys continue down the street, it's similar scenes in a bunch of the other bubbles. And then as you get to a center of a main, looking like either road or something, you see in the back is a giant white building that has the word laboratory written on top of it with some of the letters falling off, broken off a little bit, but you can make out the words. And the white of the building looks to be like these slate-like things that are horizontal and go across the span of each side of the building. And there's multiples of them going up and down the building. And there are doors and windows. And on the left side of the, there's a bubble right directly to the left of the building that hasn't damaged the building. And in there, you see a couple more of those lab coat guys running towards what looks like to be a metal-covered wagon that has wood panels on the sides and back.
That's the white building that they talked about.
Yeah. Supposedly there's someone in there that has the key that we need.
I wonder if they're frozen in time too.
I hope not.
That would be a problem.
So
Is anyone around the white building or?
no, outside of the people in that bubble to the left, no.
Right. Yeah. There's like no creatures or anything.
No, nothing. That's the odd thing. You really haven't heard much nature sounds around here.
Okay.
And you said the bubble was solid, right? When we touched it?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we proceed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How long has
so,
it been since Pass Without a Trace?
You're still within the hour.
Okay.
You guys are good. Roll stealth checks for me as you approach the building.
$26.
36.
Do we still have? Oh, we have Pass Without Trace 33.
Yeah.
16.
Astronaut and I both rolled a 22, sorry.
Yeah. So as you guys get up there, nobody really notices you. You get to the building, and when you look inside, the door still seems like it works. It doesn't seem like it crashed in or anything. You peek inside a little bit, and what you see inside is a room set up like no room you've ever seen before. There's furniture and these metal, like just the metal part of like a rectangle sort of thing over top of all this stuff, like this furniture, and it looks like a bar counter is sort of there with some broken chairs behind it. And you guys look inside, and you see what looks like looks like an entryway down into like a bottom level. And roll an investigation check, whoever wants to, or with advantage if somebody wants to help.
I can do it.
Okay.
I'll help.
Yep, so roll with advantage. Fred. Okay. Yeah, so that 22 is fine. You find a letter right at the front door to there, and it's like half written, like the person, something happened to them right at the end. And the top part of it, in sort of the same childlike script as the map that you have, and it basically says, item is inside, we are going to go in and get it, period. Have to figure out how to get past, and then it sort of scribbles off there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and as you convey that on to everyone, that is where we'll end the episode.